Hello everyone, this is Venus Brown. Today I'm going to be doing a reaction to The Crown Season 6 Part 1 trailer. Now I also found another one that is labeled Date Announcement. I will watch these through and then I will discuss it.
I don't really understand how I ended up here. Dashing around. And losing sight of myself in the process. I think that's been the story of my whole life.
I'm afraid, Your Majesty, interest in the princess's private life is unlikely to die down anytime soon.
The press are on our tails constantly.
All one wants is for that girl to find peace.
Mommy, you okay? I'm okay. It's just...
okay.
It has all been a bit mad recently.
You finally succeeded in turning this house upside down. It's nothing less than revolution.
That was never my intention.
Set against a background of raw emotion, the royal family remained silent.
What do people want from me?
For you to be mother to the nation. You've seen the images on the television. Diana gave people what they needed. All over the world, in their thousands. And they adored her for it. This is going to be the biggest thing that any of us has ever seen.
All right, so that was part 1 of the season 6 trailers. Part 2, from what I understand, doesn't come out until December, so we'll see then what that looks like. I did note that the pictures I've seen for the part 2 actually have the Queen on the front of them. So maybe the beginning will primarily cover that descent of Diana after the divorce and then up to the point that she was killed. The aftermath, of course, and then moving on from her death. I think we all expected that was going to be kind of the coverage. I wouldn't know what episode they're going to start covering, whatever, but this is from information that was provided early on, so it's not updated, but early on I had heard that they were probably covering up to around 2002. I hope they'll go further than that, but if they just go to 2002, that's okay. I think it would be cool if they did like maybe up to 2002 and then did like one last episode where the Queen has died and then see the aftermath of that. But anyway, the trailer really got me emotional. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing that I remember from that time, other than the pageantry and the fantasy of that marriage that turned out to be really not the fantasy that any of us envisioned. Outside of that, the paparazzi and Diana ending up killed in the long run because of the madness of this paparazzi constantly harassing her. I've seen a lot of recent trailers of upcoming shows that were like really short, just a few seconds of imagery and nothing else, so you get barely anything. This actually spent a good deal of time with Diana and with the situation. And it looks like they're really going to sit with that issue of the paparazzi and the reality of what that does, not only to the people that are immediately involved, that are being hounded by the paparazzi, but also the crown and the country and the world. Because let's be real, those of us that were alive at the time, this stuff really affected us. And it's bringing back all of those memories. And Diana really did have a way about herself to just make other people feel so much more connected to something that we never had any connection to before. Not really. Was it all an illusion? I don't know. I think it was more that you got somebody that was a little bit more like us, was in such a deep part of the system. Even though she was rejected by it, she was still part of it. I mean, Princess Margaret was rejected by it too. And Princess Anne a little bit also. They were still at the heart of it. There was definitely more in that trailer than I expected there would be. And it really does focus heavily on Diana, her situation, that aftermath after her wedding. But I liked that they really made sure that you understood it wasn't just going to be all the focus on her. It's going to be focused on what that stuff's going to do to the rest of us, the rest of the royal family, the rest of the country, the rest of the world. Now I'm going to watch that next video, the Crown Season 6 date announcement. The video itself is much shorter, so I don't think it's going to be the same thing, but let's find out.
The crown is a symbol of permanence. It's something you are, not what you do.
Some portion of our natural selves is always lost. We have all made sacrifices. It is not a choice. It is a duty.
But what about the life I put aside? The woman I put aside?
All right. So that one was much shorter, but it focused much more on the queen and her kind of discussing that reality of being the queen, where you have to perform your duties and you have to be the queen, you have to rule over this kingdom, but that requires you to set aside part of yourself. It requires you to set aside, who you would be otherwise if you weren't the queen. And those of us that have watched the previous seasons, we've seen how much she's had to just kind of partition herself off from everything else and act a certain way, be a certain way, make certain judgments, and that really might go against who she is on the inside, what she might really want to do and be for her family. Like, a lot of that gets set aside in order to present this certain image to everybody else, and in order to keep from making choices and contributing to behavior and decisions that could alter that image. All right, it's November 9th as I'm recording this, so we have 1 week left to see that. I am in Myrtle Beach right now, and I will be getting back from my trip the day before the episode airs. I will continue doing my regular schedule of 1 episode a week of The Crown, Heartstopper, and I'm starting on Sex Education. I'll be able to watch the show, record my reaction, and get those videos out to you that week. I'll see you then. Bye.